We're talking about achieving real-time insights with dashboards. And just a couple of things that are some of the key reasons that we are really find these dashboards useful. One, you have dynamic dimension filtering on your dashboard. So as you have learned through some of our other webinars, or if you're a current Intacct user, we do have dimensions in the system that allow you to kind of slice and dice your data. And so on your dashboard, you have the ability to add those different dimensions as filters. So then you can update all of your reports, charts, graphs, everything that's on your dashboard for those specific dimension values, and get a lot of data at once for specific dimensions to really give you a real-time look at what's going on in your operations. In addition to the dimensions filtering, all of the dashboards have drill down capability. So if you've got reports on your dashboard or some quick little performance card indicators, if something doesn't quite look right, you can drill down on that and get into that detail directly from the system. So you don't have to, send an email off to somebody and say, hey, can you research this for me? Or do any of that additional work or take that offline. Just right there from the system, you'll be able to drill down and dig into that detail and find the information that you're looking for. You can have tailored views for different users or different roles. So if you've got, operations team members in Intacct, and they're using the system to really review specific reports, maybe related to purchasing or customers even. You can have specific dashboards for those users or user groups that will allow you to really tailor what they need to be able to see specifically for what they should be reviewing operationally. Obviously, somebody on your accounting team might have a very different need for their data results from reports and charts and graphs, so they can have a different view. So having the ability to create different dashboards for your different users or user groups is really powerful and a great tool. We also have KPI visibility on our dashboard, so we can build out some of those KPIs using financial and non-financial or statistical accounts, so we can really give you a lot of information that's powerful right here in your system. There's visual indicators that can be built in on those quick indicators, those performance cards, as well as charts and graphs. So, we can really make it very visual for your users so that they can really see at a quick glance how you're doing. So with that, I'm going to jump over here into my Intacct demo system and take a quick look. This is one particular dashboard that I have set up in here. I like this one because it's nice and pretty with lots of charts and graphs and indicators on here, so it's bright and colorful. Not always a good thing, so I've got some different indicators here. So these are called our performance cards. So these are just quick little single number indicators where you can tell it, perhaps a revenue number in comparison to budget. So you can see here that this is in comparison to budget. And I've got a quick little visual indicator here with a green arrow saying that that's a good thing. So I am actually have revenue higher than budgeted, so that's a good thing. If I take a look at this indicator here on my operating expenses, that is also higher than budget, but in this particular case, because it's expenses, that's not a good thing. So I've got, a different little indicator here with a flag that's red that tells me that's something that I maybe need to take a quick look at. So on these performance cards, we've got different little indicators. You can use whatever you like. We've got arrows, little smiley faces or frowny faces, flags, dots, thumbs up, all kinds of different situations that you can choose from for your indicators. And then again, because these are, you are live in the system, you're able to drill down in that and take a quick look and see what's going on. So if I wanted to take a look at these operating expenses, I can see I hover over that and it turns blue. I can click on that and it's going to take me to my underlying report that it makes up that data. And so I can look at that and I can see, my budget and my actual data. Again, anything in blue is a hyperlink, so I can drill down on that further. So I can see here's all of my actual expenses in comparison to my budget. And if I take a look at my marketing here, wow, that seems really high, to have $1.5 million in marketing expenses. So I can continue, drill down on that, take a look at that, and I can see here, oh, yeah, I've got a journal entry for $1.5 million in my marketing expenses. Maybe I need to take a look at that and see what's going on. And looks like I was moving something from office supplies to marketing. So that's, a pretty big dollar. Obviously, if I had an attachment on this, I could look at that. But I can get all the way down to that detail level from my dashboard and really investigate that. Then obviously, if that's a problem, something wrong, then I can use some of the other tools in the system to notify whomever entered it that, hey, maybe there's a problem, you need to investigate that. So you can really use all of those tools in the system from here, from starting from my dashboard, to investigate that and really manage my operations. So again, I've got, those performance cards. So those are just those quick little single number, but I can drill down into those to get more detail if needed. I also have some charts up here. So I've got my company performance here as a chart. So I can see, if I hover over this, it's kind of small there, but you can see there's my revenue number, my cost of goods sold, my operating expenses, there's my net income. So this little orange scaled number or bar on my chart here is my net income. So you can kind of see that it's staying relatively flat. I have a little bump here. And then at the end of the year, I've got, a pretty big bump here in my net income. So you can see kind of how that's progressed over the year. So with my charts also, I can click on any of those and drill down. It's going to take me to the underlying report that makes that up. So I can really get down into that finite level detail if needed. So with my charts and graphs, I've got, different types of charts and graphs. So if you like bars, pies, line charts and graphs, any of those are options. So you can really create whatever visually works for you and your team. And what they like to see. So I also mentioned that you've got the ability to have dimension filtering on these dashboards. So on my overall dashboard, I've added my department and my location filters as options. So I can drop down in that list and say, I just want to see my marketing department and apply that dimension filter, and now I can see it's updated all of my charts and graphs. Probably not a great one to pick since everything's coming up zeros, but all of my charts and graphs are now updated for that particular department. So everything on here, so I don't have to go run a bunch of different reports to see, everything for my department that I'm really in charge of managing. So even though a lot of times clients will have, reports built out, maybe different P&Ls or different views, maybe a month-to-date, a quarter-to-date, a year-to-date report for your different users, rather than necessarily having to go run different reports when they're trying to look at those numbers, you can drop those all onto a dashboard. So then when they're running anything, it updates all of it at once so they can see those reports all there together. So I can, as I mentioned, I can have different views or different dashboards here for my different users. So if I jump over here to kind of, a controller level, you can see I've got some very different indicators here, performance cards. I also have a little bit different charts and some reports on here. So I've got, my profit and loss, my actual versus budget report. I've got my expense summary by department report on my dashboard here. So again, when I apply any filters or take any filters off, it's going to change my view on everything. So now my profit and loss and my expense summary reports are all updated. based on the fact that I've removed and have no filters in here. And it's giving me all of those reports at once. You know, if I need to, I can, you know, open these reports up. And, you know, when it prompts me, I can say, you know, I'd like to see this in Excel, and I can run that out to Excel. So I still have the same functionality when I run the reports from the report center, where I can open those and run those out to Excel or PDF, etc. So all that same functionality that I have when I run the reports, I have from my dashboard. And then again, with my filtering criteria, if I change a location, for example, and apply that, it's going to update everything on here. So now my P&L and my expense summary by department reports are both updated at the same time. I can see all of that right here at once, and I don't have to go run a bunch of different reports or schedule those as a report group, whatever the case is. I've got it all right here at my fingertips. So, in addition to, you know, your kind of managers and your executive team that might be really looking at these dashboards from an operational perspective, you can really take this down to a different level. So, for example, you know, a customer service rep, they might want to see if they have open orders or the list of customers that they're assigned to, and have that list view on here. So there's not necessarily as much financial information out here. Maybe they do have, you know, a report that's just the revenue for their customers, so they can kind of keep an eye on, hey, here, you know, are my customers that I am the CSR for, are they purchasing things? Or, you know, is that normal purchasing? Do I see big spikes or big drop-offs in that? Anything that I need to kind of manage to. So you can really customize these views. It doesn't have to necessarily be all of, you know, just reports, charts, and graphs. We can have a list of, here's my open orders. So this is this particular CSR's open orders that they've entered in the system. If you are looking at, you know, an employee here, you can see here's my purchase requisitions that were entered. So I can see the status of those. Are they pending? Have they been converted and processed? If I had expense reports or timesheets out here, I could see those and see the status of those. So even as an employee that's maybe just entering timesheets or entering expense reports or entering purchase requisitions, I maybe don't need to see all that financial information, but I want to see the status of those different transactions that I'm entering to make sure that they've been processed. And so I can put all that right here on my dashboard so that it's all right here in one place, and I don't have to go through the menu and drill down and say, okay, well, let me go look at my timesheets. Now let me look at my expense report. I can see it all in one place. So there's a lot of power to those dashboards. And like I said, you've got, you know, a multitude of different versions you can create. There's no limit to the number of dashboards that you can have in the system. It does require a business user license to create a dashboard. So your employee level users won't be able to create their own dashboards, but you'll be able to create kind of a dashboard for that particular user or user group. And then they would be able to view that and run that at any point in time. So a lot of information really out there on the dashboards. You know, as you are, you know, starting to use Intacct, we do full training on how to create these and set these up. So, you know, we will work with you to help you get those set up and assist with any of that as you're building those out.